Start off on that as our base document. Shalom, shalom. Coming back out here again.
Shalom.
For another camp. And we're full of the Holy Spirit through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We were just talking about a few things that's going on. And for those of you that are not aware, that are not walking in the Spirit, we're engaged in the battle. We're engaged in a spiritual war on all fronts. Our health and wellness, our livelihood, our families, our spirituality. Everything is on the line in these last days. And without being in the Spirit, you can't see that. So we're being attacked from multiple angles, multiple battle fronts. This is not the time to be sitting back, settled on our leads. But that every man should have their hand on the plow, pushing this ministry. Before we get started, we're going to face the east. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach. Double honor and respect to the elders, to the apostles of Great Millstone. Much love and honor and respect to the beloved brothers of the hopeful elect, helping to edify the body and feed the lambs. With diligence and fervency, pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth and feeding the Lord's flock. And to the beloved ladies that are sitting back and listening and learning in meekness and humility, as the scriptures have said. So we're going to go ahead and bring it out. We were made to reprove his thoughts. So we're going to be reading out of the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And whichever way the Spirit takes us, we'll go from there. You got something out?
Come.
Back.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit onto you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come up upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
Now this is very important, and I'm glad the Spirit led us here. Whenever we study history and we look at the major catastrophic event, like Sodom and Gomorrah, the Lord sends forth prophets. When you look at ancient Nineveh, prophets were sent forth first, like Jonah. So we got to take a step back and look at this thing. Why are there prophets standing out on the streets in 5 major continents around the world? So something should tell us that a major catastrophic event is coming. Major destruction is coming. Go ahead, King.
God, exactly what you just said. Jeremiah 28, starting off verse 7. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak into thine ears, and into the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
So major evil is coming. Right. The air is being polluted. More disease are being cranked out. Every disease is man-made, by the way, in case you didn't know that. One of my backgrounds is chemistry, but I'm not going to try to go too deep. But every single disease is being released into the atmosphere. This is what Yahweh Shai was talking about. Pestilence, when you should see famine. Now the food is being genetically modified with synthetic food. They're breaking down the food and they're making it out of laboratory carcinogenics or carcinogens. That's cancer-causing elements that they're adding. And we can't go too deep because of the sensitivities. They'll take down the video. You see? So we're telling you these things are coming. More sickness, more death, more food shortages. The cattle is going to be dying off. That's being killed off. Go ahead, King.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2.
Yep.
And it reads, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious.
Beautiful.
And in the death of a man there is no remedy.
So this is the ungodly. It's talking about the wicked. The Edomites that are in rulership right now. Reasoning with themselves. So they are fleshly beings. They're carnal. They have a secular view. Come on.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
So they don't believe in spirituality, reincarnation. They don't believe in regeneration. Let's go.
For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the movement of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. Verse 4, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud.
So they have this mindset, live it up, do as thou wilt. Go ahead and enjoy your time on the earth in lust. Come on.
Once more, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
Let's show that the Edomites are off, the wicked. Their mindset is off, that their work shall not be in remembrance. We got that Psalms 137 up. Yup, somewhere around verse 7. Remember these devils. So the Lord sees you, Esau. The Lord knows your works, and he knows your thoughts. Come on.
Khan, it's the book of Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Beautiful.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
See? So they dashed mainly northern kingdom, took the babies out of the mother's womb, and just slammed the babies against the rocks. You got to pay for that, sleazy E.
That's right.
Everything we do in this life comes with a price. Go to Psalm 6, the last verse. So the Lord brings you back in the third and fourth generation so that you can pay for your crimes. Nothing in this world is free. Read that again about that remembrance.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, once more, verse 4.
Yep.
And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud.
Let's show you that the devil is a liar. Come on.
Khan, Psalms chapter 6, verse 10.
Yep.
Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Salakia. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly.
Let them do what?
Let them return and be ashamed suddenly.
Beautiful. See, we regenerate, sleazy E.
That's right.
So the slave masters that cut off our nutsack and hung us up by the necks, they're back. They are back, saying what crimes? You see, everything cycles back around. Just like the waterfall, when it hits the rivers and evaporates into the air, becomes a spirit or mist, the cycle repeats itself. Go ahead, King.
Once more.
Yes, sir.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun.
I was speaking in the spirit when I said the mist, how the waters evaporate and become a mist, like a spirit, but comes back on the earth as the waters, life. Read that again, Bubakasha. A little slower.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 4, once more. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist.
Beautiful.
That is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
See that? So the wicked reasoning with themselves, but not aright, when we read the top of that chapter. So they don't understand that a day of reckoning is coming, a day of recompense. So they are scuffling, moving swiftly, expediting more wickedness, with the air being polluted, contaminating the atmosphere, ramping up these pollutants that fill our lungs with all types of what do you call it?
Toxins.
Yeah, toxic waste that's being aerosolized, that's blocking up our lungs. So this thing here, we're under attack by the wicked. Go ahead, King.
Verse 5. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away.
Beautiful.
And after our end there is no returning.
Yeah.
For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
I love that word, speedily. So this is why Revelation 12 tells us, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has a short time. So expect the famines to increase, food shortages, while you think they're authorizing synthetic laboratory meat. So the cattle is going to be killed off and die off. Farmers are being paid to eliminate their cattle, their livestock, their chicken, their fish. Even the fish is being genetically spliced. While you think Yahushua said, if you do not speed up the times, no flesh shall be left. Can you bring that out, Baba Kashab? Matthew 24. I think it's somewhere between 12 and 14. We get people that just come up here and stare at us, not knowing that historically, when you see prophets out on the street, somebody done screwed up. Judgment is near. But most people think this is a game. They just see men out here and they marginalize us or take it for granted. You got it, King.
Con, it's the book of St. Matthew 24, verse, straight to the point, or what?
Scripture before it.
Start off 21.
Yep.
For then shall be great tribulation, as such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened.
See, so when you look at the actual day of Jacob's trouble, it's going to rapidly escalate into a nuclear conflict, which is designed to eradicate all flesh. So Yahushua is going to come right there at the brink of the major nuclear holocaust event on the day of Jacob's trouble, because one megaton nuclear missile can take out a quarter of the United States geographical landmass. 4 can totally wipe out the United States. But the Lord is going to put a spirit in these nations to utterly waste her. So they're going to commit overkill at the destruction of the daughter of Babylon. So you got it, King. Wait, you want to get through us first?
Con, it's the 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened.
Beautiful.
The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch.
Please read that again.
Con, 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch.
See, so we're supposed to watch as well as pray. The men are supposed to be standing upon the walls of Jerusalem and prophesying, telling the sheep, the wolves are coming, the lions are coming, the enemy is coming. Supposed to be sounding the alarm and blowing the trumpet. Danger is coming. Danger is in the midst. Come on, King.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion and our lot is this.
So they have their portion in this life. Epstein Island. When they're stressed out, they just pop a little boy or a little girl. There was a recent march in New York. We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children. So they are living it up in wickedness, basting themselves in abominable behaviors. And they have enticed 2/3 of the Israelites to lie down in bed with these behaviors. Gross abominations. So they are living life up in its fullest in wickedness. Remote islands where children are being molested, taken advantage of. They're being sea-hit with mechanical, miniaturized electronic devices. These are the test tube babies, if you will. So they've already implemented the sea-hit. Stop saying it's coming, it's here. But eventually it's going to be mandated at the brink of a major catastrophic event. So it's going to be lights out, electronic pulse weapon or EMP. It's going to be some type of tactical low-level strike to cause confusion and chaos. And in the midst of that smoke and confusion, go ahead and get in process into an internment facility. You got to be stamped and electronically tagged and tracked and checked in for your safety and security. They're going to come under the guise of peace and safety, but you got to be electronically checked in or in process. First Thessalonians 5:3, Bubakasha. When these niggas going to say peace and safety,
God.
but the Lord is going to bring total destruction upon your heads.
That's right. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them,
Beautiful.
as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye brethren, and not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
I love the way this chapter uses darkness. It's talking about wickedness and ignorance, but at the same time, this place is literally going to be put in the dark. Just like ancient Egypt, so that the darkness was so thick, you can feel it. That's how thick the darkness was, and gloom, and massive death. So the Lord is going to strike this place with fire when they mandate the miniaturized digital device under the umbrella or the guise of peace and safety. Come on into this facility, this camp. We got electricity, we got Wi-Fi, we got internet. Your wives can get groomed, get their toes done, or their feet done, get their nails done. We got camel hair wigs. We got lamb skin for you. You see, we got all the variety of different hair pieces. Come on into this facility here. While all types of death and rioting is in the streets. Go ahead, King.
There's the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 14, verse 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
So this devil is going to tell you you can be safe on his facilities. And a lot of our women are going to be like, get the kids. Let's go and get checked in. Shut your ass up, Eve. We listened to you last time, and look what happened to us. Go to Sirach 9:13, Bubakasha. So the world is changing. The Lord has raised up men that are stubborn to wickedness, that are turning our back against feminism and Edomite supremacist tyranny.
Khan. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 13.
Khan.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Say what?
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Khan.
So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death, and if thou come unto him, make no fault. Lest he take away thy life presently, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
So we're in the battle, Eve. This man does not love us, although he's giving you government assistance to get rid of your man. He's isolating you for destruction, because where there is no hedge, the possession is spoiled. So
right.
Eve has been seduced by this man's carrots, his apples, his enchantment. Sirach 12, Book of Shah. Go back to where you left off, King.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 2, verse 10. And it reads, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow.
See what?
Let us not spare the
I
widow.
was in the spirit when I told you he's isolating you, Eve, to cut off your head and make you an easy prey. Read that again.
Once more. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10.
Yes.
And it reads, let us oppress the poor righteous man.
Yes, sir.
Let us not spare the widow.
Come on.
Nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
Uh-huh.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Yep.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
So they're going to mandate this device as the law, or you are a walking threat. You are a threat to national interests and security. They're going to mandate this thing to use the law as a weapon. Draconian laws, mandating unrighteous decrees to subdue the population. Let's go.
Verse 12.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us without offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
So we're speaking out against a man popping another man. We're speaking out against a woman being placed above her husband, which is her head, and saying, I'm married to Jebus. That's my Lord. So we're speaking out against disorder. We're speaking out against abominations like eating pig. We're speaking out against the harlot houses called churches. We're speaking out against pedophilia. We're speaking out against illegal wars to go after sovereign nations, gold, oil, and drugs. Come on.
Verse 13.
Yes, sir.
He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High.
Yep.
And he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Con.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
We were what?
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
We were made to bring correction of the will of the Heavenly Father, whether you like it or not. By the way, you're not here to teach us, okay? It's the other way around. Somebody done messed up when you see the men out here standing on 5 major continents. You done fucked up hard. Read that again, Bubba.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yes.
He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
They hate us. Amos 5 and 10, Bubba. And then we go back to Sirach 12. And we'll come back to you, King. So they hate the correction of the Most High. They're not going to receive instruction. The wicked receive the law, but they forsake the Lord's law. Come on, King.
Con, it's the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhorred him that speaketh uprightly.
So they hate the Lord's will. They hate his divine holiness. They hate sanctity, which is being pure, which comes from the divine, the 4th dimension, the 3rd heaven. Our spirit is from the 4th dimension, the 3rd heaven. So we don't mesh well in this wicked cesspool. Go ahead, King.
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20, to back up them going against the Most High. Job 20, so verse 14. Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him?
That was Job 20.
Job 20, 14 and 15.
Let's try Job 21 and 15 as well.
Well, Salaki, that was Job 21, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's where we were. Good. Now Sirach 12.
Sirach 12.
Yep.
Sirach 12 from the top? Or?
Yes.
Sirach 12 from the top. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
Beautiful.
Do good to the godly man.
Do what?
Do good to the godly man.
Let's go.
And thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
So this is only for the elect. This is who this charity is for. This is who this bread is for, and this water. We can't save every damn body because the 2/3 are condemned and the wicked. Edomites. Come on.
Come. Verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
See that? Beautiful.
Nor to him that giveth no alms.
Yep.
Give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
So when we preach this word, it's gathering the Lord's anointed ones that have already been endowed with the gift of faith. Let's go.
Verse 5. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
And this reminds me of these young brothers out on the streets calling a Jake riding by in a red convertible with a Wonder Bread wife, or appeared to be an Edomite, which the young Jakes didn't even know that. So if he's of the elect, he's going to pull over and come up to the camp. But they called him out and insulted his wife. Out of order. The elect is going to just go park. I've seen that happen. And they're going to come and listen to the word. So you Jakes are off that did that. But at the same time, he's threatening to kill brothers reading Bibles. So he's proud too. Go ahead, King.
Salaki, that also shows that the Most High is balanced.
Woo-wee. Yes, perfect.
Verse 6.
Yep.
For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
Beautiful.
And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Yep.
Give unto the good and help not the sinner. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So this man is not going to change. He was made to be the wicked. He was made to depopulate the earth. He was made to make synthetic food, like this new chicken, laboratory-grown chicken that's out. Even if you eat tilapia, it's made in a lab where all types of bacteria and viruses are grown, homegrown on the farm. So we cannot trust a man that was made to commit wickedness and spread death and sickness. We cannot join unto them because their spirit is dark, wicked. You got it, King.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Beautiful.
Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
See, now wild beasts. So this is a metaphor for an unclean man. Babylon has become the habitation of devils. So it's going to become a memorial for unclean creatures. The desert fox, the coyote, the serpents, the scorpions. So you cannot commune with savages. They're unclean. Go ahead, King.
Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
Beautiful.
For a while he will abide with thee.
Yep.
But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
Let's go.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips,
but
in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Now I like that word pit, because when you go into that word pit, it means system. So we're under the beast system, which is led by the spirits of the ancient gods of Greece, Rome, Egypt, Assyria, Nineveh, Babylon. Come on, King.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Yep.
And though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee.
Beautiful.
He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
And change his countenance. So when this place is locked down, the Gurkha troops, the UN troops, the militaries are going to be coming in with fierceness. They're not going to spare the widow. They're not going to spare the small child. They're not going to spare the woman or the man of old age. Go ahead, King.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, once more,
Yep.
verse 14. And it reads, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other man's life. Salaki. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
So we abstain from eating swine. We abstain from worshiping in haunted houses or idols. We abstain from false doctrine. We abstain from the ways of this world, which is darkness or living in the flesh. We abstain from a man popping another man or a woman getting a liquor license or liquor license. We abstain from this man's education and religious institutions. So we are created to be adverse to wickedness and darkness. Let's go.
He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his Father.
God.
Let us see if the words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the Son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
So they are preparing. They're mounting up with their armored personnel carriers, with their armored troops, with their tanks, with their helicopters and assault craft. They're saying, we're coming. We're going to see if this God be true that you're boasting about. The God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let us see if he's going to defend you, as you say. So we're going to come in like a flood. We're going to see if your word be true. And we're coming with everything we got. So Pharaoh is loading up. He's mounting up his troops with armor and weaponry. So it's going to be a standoff between good versus evil. And we got people driving by laughing. But little do you know that before fire comes, the men of the Lord stands out on the streets. Before mass death comes, the men of the Lord are standing boldly. Before massive sickness and confusion and chaos ensues, the men of the Lord stands up in order. Go ahead, King.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 19.
Yes, sir.
Let us examine him with despitefulness.
Go back to these niggas getting ready to come in.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
God.
For if the just man be the Son of God,
If the what?
if the just man be the Son of God,
Yasharallah, Israel, or he is a prince of the power. Come on, sleazy. We're just standing here as lively stones, but we got the word of the living power. So come on, sleazy, eat. Let's go. Go back to, let's get King David. I think it's 1 Samuel 17 and 14, somewhere in there, or 2 Samuel 17 to 14. King David standing on the word and walking in faith, not by sight. So the mighty men of the house of David has been resurrected from the graves, spirit to be regenerated unto the earth. We're not walking according to how big the international giants are. We're not walking according to the size and the might of their air power, their sea power, their nuclear power, their electrical power. their armor and teeth were moving in faith. Yes, that's it. Yeah, let's start at 42.
Come on. It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17, starting off at verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw the water, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog, that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods.
Now, when it says he was ruddy, he looks like what you would call a cherry. It's like in the military, you see a young new soldier show up, you'll say he's green or he's a cherry in experience. But there's a secondary definition, which is brown with reddish hues. Dark brown with reddish hues. Read that again, Bobby Kasha.
Come on. 1 Samuel 17, verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance.
So now the international elite is saying, who are these inexperienced men? Never been to any institutions of higher learning. They didn't get our degrees in divinity,
Exactly.
our theology.
They didn't go through our programs, Negro.
Exactly. Who are these youngins? These little babes. But little do you know, the Most High puts His Spirit in babes.
There it is.
Come on, King.
Verse 43.
Yes, sir.
And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog, that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name.
In the what?
In the name.
Let's go.
Of Yahweh of hosts,
Woo.
the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou defied.
So we're standing here as worms, speaking out boldly in the land of giants, the international global bankers, giants, the corporate elites, giants, the great militaries of the United Nations, giants. We're standing here as grasshoppers in the land of giants, but we're full of the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Go ahead, King.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, once more, verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the Son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness.
So the torture chambers are being set up. The mind control facilities are ready to go. They're going to try to torture the men of the Lord and those that believe this faith. Go ahead.
Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death. For by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for their blameless souls.
So the wicked don't know the Most High. They disdain His will. They disdain His ordinances. They hate order. They hate instruction. Isaiah 26 and 10. We'll start at 9. We're going to come back to you. So the Lord gave them the law. Well, He didn't give them the law, but they have access to it. You see? So we're going to read proof of that. Just like Cain and Abel. Cain knew to do right, but he can't get right. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shewed to the wicked.
Beautiful.
Yet will he not learn righteousness in the land of uprightness. Will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
So they're in the Holy Land. They've been getting an opportunity to rule, but they got the biggest A, B, C, D, E, F, G parade every year. You see, they know what the instructions are. They got access to the instruction guidelines. but they hate order and ordinances.
Go
ahead, King.
If I may, even people that are so-called, you know, mess with little kids.
Yep.
We know what it is. We know. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want the live to get clipped, but they give refuge to those people. You can go to Israel right now and get shelter and security.
Yep.
Okay. And also I think too.
Spot on.
I think also too they put that in the alphabet people.
That's spot on. That's why they're boldly coming out now saying we're coming for your kids.
Yep.
See, and this is why when you study the Bible, you got to put aside your emotions.
That's right.
I got family members that say, look, let them do their thing. You see, but little do you know, it spreads. So now they're coming after your kids. So the Most High knows more than we do in this flesh. He knew that is an aggressive spirit that's going to have a hunger for youth, for fresh meat, so to speak. They love the kids because it's like a fresh, like having a brand new meal. You see? So the Lord knew that. But you being in your feelings, Jake, women, then you just saying, let them do their thing. You see? Don't judge them.
Like 30 years ago, like in the 90s, I want to say, in like 80s and 70s, you wouldn't have these people broadly, you know, standing out here boldly saying all this stuff. They would keep it in the closet.
Yep.
But now they out the closet, you know, doing all types of wickedness, man.
Matter of fact, when I was growing up, if people knew that you were a brokeback, you just got destroyed.
Yep.
You would get beat up every day.
Every day.
So you would have to try to go to school an hour early just to miss the crowd and leave an hour late to keep from getting your ass kicked. That's when I grew up. So if you was in the closet, that's where that term comes from. But nowadays,
tearing the hinges off.
Yeah.
Jake is that crouching line, man.
Yep.
You got comfortable and just like, oh well, just forget it.
Exactly. I'm gonna read the comment board. This is the beloved brother, basic wisdom. Exodus 23:2. Shalom, beloved. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrest judgment. So we're supposed to be balanced, equitable. We're not supposed to show respect of persons, but righteous judgment.
Once more, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 22. And it reads, as for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For God created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil, came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
So the Lord is going to make his men like unto himself, not being able to bow down to death, not succumbing to sickness or weakness. So he's going to make his sons inherit the promises, which includes immortality. But the wicked, they don't have access to the secrets or the mysteries of the kingdom. Even in the kingdom, the inner circle of the tabernacle of David is going to closely harness these secrets of rulership that'll never be released to the other nations. So the tabernacle of David is going to keep these secrets close hold from the other nations. But the other nations will serve the God of Jacob under the light of the tabernacle of David. That's the new lighthouse. You got something?
Probably need to back you up what you just said. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We'll start off at verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither do corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Beautiful.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
See that? So the way death gets swallowed up is because sin gets conquered. And what goes with that is the man of sin being destroyed. So that man of sin, his kingdom is going to be taken down. So he is that man of death that cannot be satisfied. So we can see how the scriptures flow together. So Edom is being conquered and death is being swallowed up when we study Isaiah 63, Isaiah 34, and let's go to Isaiah 25, Bubakasha. Death is swallowed up in victory. I think it's somewhere around 17, but we're going to start at the covering cast.
7 and 8.
Where we at?
Yep.
Yep, thank you.
Con, that's the book of Isaiah, chapter 25, starting off at verse 7.
Yep.
And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yep.
He will swallow up death in victory.
Beautiful.
And the Lord Yahweh, power, will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for Yahweh hath spoken it.
So that green bay tree is ruling over the entire planet Earth. This is why we're sick and dying, because we're learning from his ways. This is why our worships are off. Our health and wellness is out of balance. Most of us, our psychology or our mind is out of balance. Our pineal gland is calcified. Our spirituality is being hindered. So the Lord is going to cut off that man of sin, that man of death and sickness, so that we can worship him in spirit and truth. And death is going to be swallowed up in victory. That means the Edomites must be subdued and taken down, so we can serve him, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 2.
Once more, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 22.
Con.
As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern they for blameless souls.
So we're going to go from there to Wisdom of Solomon 5, and let's go to verse 4. So they don't know the way of righteousness, despite having the Bible. Every hotel I've checked in, there's a Bible on the counter, underneath the lamp. They even swear in on the Bible. So they have the instruction book. They have the guidelines to morality, to spirituality. But they reject wholeness, wellness. They reject the divine ordinance. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 4.
Con.
And it reads, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
When you hear the word fool, it's synonymous with wicked. Come on.
How is he numbered among the children of God?
Yep.
And his lot is among the saints.
Nigga, 8, 3/5 of a man. Sambo, Tonto, Jigaboo, Gentile. See? Come on.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us.
Beautiful.
We worried ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction.
They weary themselves in the way of wickedness. How do we depopulate the earth? How do we destructure the fundamental building blocks of society? By cutting off the head of the homes, the fathers. Child delinquency is over 60%. Child suicide rates, murder is over 65%. No fathers in the house. So they are wearying themselves to fund a privatized multi-billion-dollar prison system. and to keep the Israelites in darkness. Why does rappers get $20 million contracts to push death, black culture, sickness, gang violence, drive-by shootings? You see, adultery, incest. They are wearying themselves in promoting and funding and sustaining a wicked, dark kingdom. Read that again, both.
Once more, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. Beautiful. But as for the way of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we have not known it.
Yep.
What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches without vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. Verse 10, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves.
So the ships are coming from those that are in tune with the mysteries of the kingdom, that are singing the song of the frequency of the ships that are coming, that have been prepostered to take up the elect. That same song is being sung. So the elect are going to be taken up, that is in sync with the will of the Heavenly Father. Let me read this again. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 22. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. So they are basing themselves in promoting and sustaining generational wealth by deceit, mischief, treachery, lies, usury, which is interest, which is against the Bible. You borrow $1,000 and pay back $30,000. That's wicked. So it keeps the poor poor and the rich get richer. These are abominations. The Edomite is an abomination. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, from the top. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
See that? So these decrees, these laws are created to maintain their own internal family wealth, that their houses shall continue forever. So when you look into that word houses, it's talking about their family dynasties. The 13 Illuminati families. Show me a year that they were poor. Show me. Show me on TV, on the media, where they're being arrested. So you're telling me they don't commit crimes? Tax evasion, fraud. They don't pay taxes. And they own the media. Why you think they own Epstein Islands? These many Epstein Islands. Where are they being arrested? Show me where they're being apprehended in the streets. So are they perfect, or are they above the law here? This is their kingdom. So they control the federal and national police agencies. They control Fox, NBC, CNN. Where are the elite being convicted? You show me.
Them taxes, the taxes that we pay go to them.
That's right. I thought we paid off our house every year. We're paying more on the house. So when you buy the house 3 times over, so you don't own shit here, Jake. It's an illusion. It's made to keep us in debt. We don't own anything. People got excited when Clown Swab said, you will own nothing and be happy. We don't own anything now, you damn devil. Go ahead, King.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 1, and it reads, why standest thou afar off, O Lord Yahweh? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
Con.
The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
I like reading this because it reminds me of Haman. He tried to hang the Israelites and slaughter them and put them under subjection. So the Edomites are trying to enslave the population through technology and these digital devices. So they're going to become the slave, according to the Bible. Come on.
Once more, Psalms 10 verse 2. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor.
Yep.
Let them be taken in the devices that they haven't imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
Say what?
God is not in all his thoughts.
Come on.
His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
So this devil is proud. He erected statues of Confederate generals. Now they're taking the statues down because the word moves statues. The word moves mountains. The word cuts in half giants, corporations, and international elite. Jake sets the trends on brand names. What's popular, what's famous. So the word cuts and stabs and devours. Come on.
His mouth is full of cursing.
Say what?
His mouth is full of cursing.
Come on.
And deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Con.
He sitteth in lurking places of the villages.
Every corner is a CCTV. And on the highways, even your tags are digitized now. So when you're traveling, your route is being tracked. Your phone is a spyware and connected to the network. He's going to read about that net. So we're caught up in the web and the net of the wicked. Come on.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Con.
In the secret places do he murder the innocent.
Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Con.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He do catch the poor when he drove him into his net.
Well, he does what?
Drove him into his net.
So he's not literally out hiding in the damn woods somewhere. He's got technology integration and Bluetooth technology, spyware. All of our electronics, spyware. That's how this devil knows who you're talking to, where you at. It's like an ex-girlfriend. Where you at? Why the hell you want to know? I thought it was over between us. So the elect are trying to detach from this system, from this man, to worship the God of Israel in peace and truth. Come on.
Psalms 10 and 10.
Let's go.
He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it.
What is that God has forgotten? Replacement theology. One size fits all. When you look up the word Catholic, it means universal. God loves everybody. We're all equal. The law, statutes, commandments are done away with. Read that again about he's hiding his, he's forgotten.
He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten.
God.
He hideth his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, our power.
Goodness.
Lift up thy hand.
Yep.
Forget not the humble. Wherefore do the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand.
Yep.
The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break down the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none.
So the Lord is going to break the strength, the teeth of the wicked. Their military is going to be melted. Their idols are going to be melted. Their infrastructure and their digital integrated technology is going to be melted. Their economy is going to collapse and die in place. So this is a dying system. The network is beginning to fail. The web of lies is being unraveled through the truth being preached. So it is falling because of the witchcraft and enchantment. Eve is under enchantment. She's the only woman out of the Bible's table of 18 nations that's saying, I don't need a man. You've been seduced and you've been bewitched by the devil himself. Serpent means sorcerer, or nakash in the Hebrew. So this is why we're turning away from feminism and Edomite supremacist tyranny. Go ahead, King.
Con, that's the book of Jeremiah chapter 16, starting off at verse 17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double. Because they have defiled my land, they have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things.
See, so the earth and the inhabitants are defiled. Our minds are being contaminated with religious dogma, man-made philosophies. Our women have been polluted. By the time you marry her, she's already had about 100 men on average. And we're just told to be a good boy and stop complaining and dedicate our lives to support her and shut up and sit down and color. To hell with you, sleazy eat. We're raising up and we're tired of the bullshit.
That's right.
Okay, our forefathers was able to pop cherries and get blood sprinkled on a clean blanket or the sheets. A token of virginity. But we're told to be a good boy and stop complaining and spend our good hard-earned dollars on a worn-out ass box. We're tired of this place. Go ahead, King.
Psalms 10, verse 16.
And Jake be simping hard too.
Man.
Driving 30 miles in the morning and in the evening to go see her. And she's getting popped while you're not there. Simp. Go ahead, King.
Psalms 10, verse 16. The Lord Yahweh is king forever and ever.
Woo.
The heathen are perished out of his land. Lord Yahweh, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thy ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress.
So oppression is going to be swallowed up. So when you read this scripture here, where's that at that they're at rest in death? I think it's Job 3. That in death they're in heaven and they're at rest.
Oh, yeah, Job 3, yeah.
You know where it's at? I think it's 3 and 10. So I want to go into this a little bit here. When we pray, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I pray that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That last scripture you read, we're going to have to hit that again because I want to show something. So the rest is going to be on earth, which means heaven is going to be on earth, where the wicked can no longer persecute the righteous. He's getting ready to read it. I know you see it. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Job, chapter 3, starting off at verse 13.
Yep.
For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then had I been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. There the wicked,
say it again.
There the wicked
There it is.
cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest.
So that heaven is going to be on earth. Now he was talking about the fourth dimension, the third heaven. So the Lord is going to project his throne on earth. Read that again about these devils. where you left off about the oppression. Yeah, right here, 18. No. Oh, okay, 17. 17. Okay.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 17.
Con.
Lord Yahweh, thou hast heard the desire of the humble.
Yep.
Thou wilt prepare their heart.
Yep.
Thou wilt cause thy ear to hear, to judge the fatherless
Beautiful.
and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress.
See that? So I know you see it. That's that heaven that's coming on the earth. So the Lord's tabernacle is going to be with men. I know you see that. You see? You got something out?
46:9.
Yeah. It's a scripture. I just had a brain freeze. Yeah, it was something I wanted to say. And then I just had a brain freeze. Let me check the comment board. Oh, okay. I know what it is. Oh, you got something? What book? Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay, good. That's good.
Precept. Psalms chapter 146. I'm going to start at verse 5. Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord Yahweh his power, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever. Verse 7, which executive judgment. Once more. Verse 7, which executeth judgment for the oppressed, which giveth food to the hungry. The Lord Yahweh looseth the prisoners. The Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the blind. The Lord Yahweh raiseth them that are bowed down.
So the prisoners are the Israelites that were sold to the nations. So the prison houses are going to be released, opened up, which really, when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, our mind is being freed. First, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So that freedom, or the prison houses being opened up, starts in our mind. That's why the Lord said what? Open the door and I will sup with you. So the prison houses are being opened up because of the preaching of the word. The poor is being fed with manna from heaven. Come on.
Once more. The Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the blind.
Beautiful.
The Lord Yahweh raiseth them that are bowed down. The Lord Yahweh loveth the righteous. The Lord Yahweh preserveth the strangers. He relieveth the fatherless and widow. But the way of the wicked he turneth upside down.
So the kingdom is going to be made right side up, with the tabernacle of David being established as the new rulers on the earth. The mighty men of the house of Jacob, of the house of David. Come on.
The Lord Yahweh shall reign forever. Woo. Even thy power, O Zion,
Beautiful.
Until all generations. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh.
See? So we're hastening the return of our Lord. We are deeply dedicated to seeing the kingdom get established on earth. We want to see order, righteousness. We want to see health and wellness. We want to eat real fruit and vegetables. We want to see real women that are submissive to her husband, not just to her boss, her supervisor, her co-workers, and her damn high school classmates, and then come home and defile her husband or talk down on him. We sick of this mess. Let's go to Luke 14 and 26. Luke 14 and 26, please. So if our heart is married to the Most High, which is our mind, then we're able to tune out the ways of this world. Lust, greed, covetousness. So when we're married to the Most High, we keep our eyes single on Him, pleasing Him, Our wives supposed to keep their eye single on their husband, pleasing him, not Ray Ray and Baby, D-Rod and Pookie. Okay? This place is out of order. Luke 14, let's go to 25.
Luke chapter 14, verse 25. And there went great multitudes with him. And he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Remember that Jake walked up to the brothers reading from Bibles. I'm willing to die for my wife, my Edomite wife, my Wonder Bread. What about the ministry? What about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? And you're threatening men with Bibles in their hands, nigga. You won't do that in Compton or East LA or Newark, New Jersey, in the hood. You Jakes are proud and you stand for nothing but your own bellies. And his wife may have been a Jake, we don't know. But he gets out of his fancy car, a red convertible, and threatened to kill the brothers preaching the Bible. Now, were they off? Yes, they went off. But you wouldn't do that in these hoods. Come on, King, read that again.
Once more, Luke 14, verse 25. And it reads, and there went great multitudes with him.
Multitudes.
Salaki. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
So how many have ever seen a woman, she's with her husband, but she's scanning the room to look at and make eye contact with other men? If you got a woman like that, you better do something about it. Okay? So our eye is supposed to be single on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and pleasing our head. Come on.
Verse 27. And whosoever do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
We're supposed to be teaching, pushing the plow, ministering, and feeding the flock of the Lord. That's carrying our cross, drinking the blood and eating the flesh of Yahushua, drinking from his cup of affliction, persecution, and being hated. You got something, King?
God, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 2. I'm going to start off at verse 15. They that fear the Lord Yahweh will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
Wow.
They that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will seek that which is well-pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord Yahweh will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy.
See? So we're supposed to be dedicating our priorities, get our priorities straight for the kingdom and pleasing our head, our master, our lover, our husband. That means diligently laboring. When you go back to the ancient world, the wife or the wives, their priorities were geared around serving their husband, not the corporate boss, not her floor supervisor, not her co-workers and her damn classmates on Facebook, social media, fans-only clubs. The Edomites have turned things upside down, but they were operating under the will of the Heavenly Father so that he can show his might when he flips things right side up and destroy these damn devils. Every damn channel I see, there's an Eve on there shaking her ass. Where's her husband? Who's watching the kids? Who's taking care of home? Go ahead, King.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28.
Let's go to Luke 16 and 13, but we can shut up. Yeah, I don't need a man. That's because we're under the wicked. Or he's giving you birth control, child support, alimony, Section 8 housing. But what happens when the system that you're married to begins to die in place? When the beast begins to die and is hooked on life support, you got to get digitally inserted with a chip to be sustained because you married yourself to a wicked criminal, the beast, headed by Esau, the wicked. So we can't serve two masters. Come on.
Luke chapter 16, verse 13, and it reads, no servant can serve two masters.
Say what?
No servant can serve two masters.
Let's go.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him.
Yep.
And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God.
Wow.
The law of the prophets were until John. Since that time the kingdom of God is preached, and every man presseth into it.
Beautiful.
And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one tittle of the law to fail.
So the Lord's word does not return unto him void. One jot or one tittle shall not be removed. The Bible says that it shall come to pass in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So the Lord is going to bring a remnant through the fire of tribulation, through worldly temptation, through the tests and trials that's going to come upon all the world. Tribulation, global resets, and persecutions, and massive death, and blood running in the streets. Meyer M. Bauer said the best time to invest is when blood is running in the streets. So if you're married to a bloody system built on theft, robbery, lies, treachery, deceit, bloodshed, you're gonna die in blood. Go ahead, King.
Isaiah chapter 31, starting off at verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots.
It's too much.
Because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity.
Will not call back his words. So many Jakes are trusting on what they can see.
That's right.
They don't believe in the unseen, the spiritual realm. But I'm here to tell you, nothing takes place in the physical without being ordered or decreed in the spiritual. The spiritual drives the train, wags the tail. The earth does not wag the dog. The earth is the tail, okay? The earth is the Lord's footstool, Jake. Like that proud Jake that got out of his fancy red convertible and threatened to kill men armed with books. You won't do that in Compton, nigga. You're just trying to brag and boast on how big of a man you think you are. You ain't shit. Yeah, they were wrong, but you don't threaten men's lives that are teaching the word. You should have kept it moving. And you bugged out Jakes. You don't provoke a man and his wife. Go ahead, King.
Luke 16, verse 18. Whosoever putteth away his wife and marrieth another, committeth adultery.
Con.
And whosoever marrieth her that is put away from her husband, committeth adultery.
See that? So we are married unto Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. So we ought to be ordering our steps in his word How do we please our Creator? How do we get spiritually aligned with the Creator of the universe? How do we please Him so that we can sustain our lives? This is life. This is health. This is strength. This is wealth. So the unseen is more powerful than what we can see. You got something?
This is the book of Second Chronicles chapter 7, starting off at verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now mine eyes shall be open and mine ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. For now have I chosen to sanctify this place. For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be therefore, that my name may be there forever, and mine eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually.
If my people shall humble themselves and repent and turn from their wicked ways, then the Lord is going to make us the lender and not the borrower. The Lord is going to make us the first of the nations, above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. We're going to own the gold, the silver. We're going to own the diamond manufacturing companies. We're going to own the coin printing companies. We're going to own the gold and silver industry. We're going to own the housing industry. We're going to own the construction industry, the food and clothing industry, the water production facilities. We're going to own it. So the beast is going to have to vomit us up out of his belly. The world was made for our sake. So they swallowed down riches, the Lord's elect, that are going to be vomited up out of the belly of the beast. And with that, the ownership of the world. You got it.
That's right. But it's the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, that's beautiful. See? So that's a perfect segue where the Spirit was leading. So the elect, or the riches of the Lord, is going to be devoured up out of the beast, which means that the elect are going to inherit the lands, the gold, the silver, the agriculture, the cattle, the women, yes, and the nations are going to be a possession to the Lord's flock, his house of David.
What you said about the translation of riches. Job 20, verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and he shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he have.
They said my phone overheated. Hey, can you grab that, please? Your hands are full. Just gotta lock it in. Okay. You good? Yeah. All right, we'll try this again. We'll read that back in Job. Oh, damn. Read that back in Job. Okay.
Yo, we back. Thumbs up, Baba Kushar. Thumbs up, we back. Baba Kushar, thumbs up, Baba Kushar.
That was hurt. Yeah, we're going to go back to that with that Job.
Baba Kushar, thumbs up.
Yep. Man, boy. Every weekend we get messed with.
All right, the bar Thomas said we good.
Okay.
All right, for Wada Malak.
Yeah, it was that posterity, because I wanted to show something.
Yeah, I got you. Go back to it right now.
Water.
It's the devil, man, bringing out that heat, man. He's trying to mess with stuff, man. But this is back to the book of Job, chapter 20, starting off at verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein.
So their own bodies are going to be taken as a possession. According to his substance shall the restitution be. So they got to pay with their own lives. They're going to be slaves. So that means by default, their lands and their women, gold and silver, is going to become a possession. According to his substance shall the restitution be. Just the definition of restitution, Bukashah.
Okay.
And we'll go to you. Yeah, while he's getting that.
Micah, chapter 3, verse 8. And it reads, but truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin.
So we're seeing who has the power now. So don't worry about trying to chase a woman around. She is hypergamous by nature. So she's going to naturally gravitate to the stakeholders, the stockbrokers, the power holders. Stop running around looking like a hungry damn toad trying to chase after a woman. Jay, read that again, Bukashah.
Once more, Micah chapter 3, verse 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression.
Beautiful.
And to Israel his sin.
So we're witnessing a power shift. We're seeing a shift in power. The wisdom is being translated over to Jacob. So by default, nations, their land, their women, their wealth is going to be translated to the wielders of power. Woo! Go ahead, restitution, King.
This is the definition for restitution on the etymology online. It says restitution, a making good or giving eloquent for crime. It's like eloquent for crime, debt, injury, etc. Repayment, a former owner repayment. Set up again, restore, build, replace, revive, reinstate, reestablish again to former state. Restitution. Wow. Etymology online.
That's heavy. Reestablish to former state. Proverbs 11 and 31 to go with that.
Come.
So he is restoring or rebuilding the tabernacle of David.
That's right.
The ruins are being repaired and the breaches are being repaired. Come on.
Proverbs 11, verse 31.
Yes, sir.
Build the righteous.
Do what?
Build the righteous.
Let's go.
Shall be recompensed in the earth. Much more the wicked than the sinner.
Behold, the righteous. So the tabernacle of David is being restored as it was in the beginning. Go ahead, King.
Micah chapter 3, verse 9.
In the other version now, right?
No.
I thought you got it in the other version.
Yeah, I got it, but you just wanted 8 and 9.
No, just 3 and 8. Micah 3 and 8.
So you want another version?
Yeah, you said the other version.
Micah chapter 3 in the NLT, verse 8, and it reads, but as for me, I am filled with power in the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh. I am filled with justice and might.
Beautiful.
Fearlessly pointing out Israel's sin and rebellion.
Beautiful.
Listen to me, you leaders of Israel. You hate justice and twist all that is right.
Yep.
You are building Jerusalem on a foundation of murder and corruption. Your rulers govern for the bribes you can get. Your priests teach God laws only for a price. Your prophets won't prophesy unless you are paid.
And these men are back, like the purple people eaters, grossing 150 million a year by teaching lies, that have signed a contract in blood with the beast, the devil. Devil means deceiver, slanderer, false accuser. So these men are back. They teach for profit and they prophesy for lies and feeding their own belly. Got something? Go ahead, King.
Once more, your rulers govern for the bribes you can get. Your priests teach God's laws only for a price.
Yep.
Your prophets won't prophesy unless you are paid.
In layman's terms, niggas. Okay, if we wanted to abbreviate this or speak in layman's terms. So these men are back. If the price is right, then they'll teach the doctrine. Like just call on Jesus Christ and go ahead and sign a marriage contract. The Lord is going to kill you purple niggas. You know who you are. I don't have to come find your ass out there somewhere. You know who you are. Did Abraham sign a contract to pop his wife? Did Isaac sign a contract? Sex is marriage. We don't have to sign no damn contract according to the Bible. Or sign a contract with the government to teach the truth. Go ahead, King.
Yet all of you claim you are dependent on the Lord Yahweh. No harm can come to us,
Wow.
you say, for the Lord Yahweh is here among us. So because of you, Mount Zion will be plowed like an open field.
He said the Lord is amongst us. They call themselves the gathering of Christos Church. You can't tell me the Bible's not spot on. Who's calling themselves the gathering of Christ? Read that again where it says they say the Lord is among us. These are straight niggas. Read that again.
Yet all of you claim you are dependent on the Lord Yahweh. No harm can come to us, you say, for the Lord Yahweh is here among us.
And I'm talking about the leadership. This is addressing the leaders. Because there may be small remnants or sprinkles of elect. Well, didn't you say that was a leader somewhere? What was the previous verse?
You rulers.
Go back to it again.
Micah chapter 3 verse 11. And it reads, you rulers govern for the bribes you can get.
Wow.
You priests teach God's laws only for a price. You prophets won't prophesy unless you are paid. Yet all of you claim you are dependent on the Lord Yahweh. No harm can come to us, you say, for the Lord Yahweh is here among us. So because of you, Mount Zion will be plowed like an open field. Jerusalem will be reduced to rubble.
So you're going to get ran through because you're whoring after other gods. If we're not in bed with Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, if we're not joined to his word, we're committing adultery. So you men are male prostitutes because the price is right. You have rebelled and committed fornication. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22. I'm going to start off at verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy things.
Yes, sir.
They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
Yep.
Neither have they shewed difference between the unclean and the clean.
Con.
And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey.
See, they have hid their eyes from his Sabbath. They teach Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. You can't tell me the Bible is off. They're following the little tic-tac hats. The purple people eaters are. Yeah, Lord, he see you. The Lord got it right. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
That's right. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey.
Con.
To shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain.
To get what?
To get dishonest gain.
$150 million teaching lies, join, or committing adultery with the beast.
Right. What's more? And her prophets have dotted them with untampered mortar, seeing vanity and dividing lies unto them, saying, thus saith Yahweh power, when the Lord Yahweh has not spoken. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. And I sought for a man among them, and should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. Therefore have I poured out my indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have I recompensed upon their heads, saith Yahweh power.
So that fire that's coming is going to start with these nuclear missiles.
Right.
And the Lord is going to consume the foundations built on untempered mortar, built on straw, hay, wood, built on sand. He's going to consume it if it's not built on the chief cornerstone of the fundamentals of wisdom, Yahweh Shai's doctrine. Come on, King.
John chapter 10, verse 1. And it reads, Verily, verily, I say unto you,
Verily, verily means truly. Come on.
he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Will a man rob God? Read that again about these robbers. You remember where it was at? You covered it. It was the second or third to the last. So these niggas are just interested in building up a Make America Great Again foundation or some shit. They're not trying to build towards the kingdom. That's promised. They just want to build their mansion, their $3 million home, right here in the daughter of Brokebacks, Jezebels, and pedophiles, so that they can build their own palace. Okay? Read it again about these robbers.
God, Ezekiel 22, verse 29.
Right back.
The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully.
Teaching lies. You are captivating the Lord's flock. Go ahead.
Once more, John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber.
Let's go.
But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
So this is a straight and narrow walk. This is a following the lighted path out of the valley of darkness and death. Follow the well-lit lights and exit right. This is the way. So we are created to take heed to the divine will of the Heavenly Father. This doctrine, come on.
John 10 and 5. And a stranger will they not follow,
Yep.
but will flee from him.
Con.
For they know not the voice of strangers.
Beautiful.
This parable spake Yahweh until them.
Yep.
But they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them.
So the elect are not going to be deceived. And the small sprinkles of elect that are under these wicked leaders are going to defect from them and join unto the Lord's herd. Come on.
Then said Yahweh unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers.
Beautiful.
But the sheep did not hear them.
Con.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture.
So the elect are going to find peace and be at rest. The Bible says none shall make us afraid. Lord willing, I'm amongst that number. By following the straight and narrow path towards the kingdom. Come on.
Chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life.
Beautiful.
And that they might have it more abundantly.
So we're not looking for a temporary fix. That's a crackhead trying to get a short, quick fix. or get popped. That's a prostitute. Like you male prostitutes whoring after other gods because the price is right. So we're waiting for the eternal promise, eternal rest, rulership. We got a ruler mentality. We don't want a quick fix off of the drug of mammon, money. Come on.
I am the good shepherd.
Yes, sir.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is a harlot, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep.
So the male prostitutes are teaching ain't no Jacob's trouble. There is no digital miniaturized device that's going to be inserted. So they're going to try to run and seek safety while the flock is being slaughtered of their followers, of their congregation. Let's go.
But he that is a harlot,
and
not the shepherd, whose own the shepherd are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. The harlot fleeth, because he is a harlot, and careth not for the sheep.
So in nigger, it's just saying, where's my check? Where's my check? He's not really watching the sheep. He's just looking at his damn watch or his iPhone. Where's my check? He really don't care about the flock. Read that again about that nigger running and don't spare the sheep.
Once more, John.
I ain't got no love for you niggas. Come on.
Once more, John.
Where's my check?
Yeah, where's my check? A straight nigger. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Once more, John chapter 10, verse 12. And it reads, but he that is a harlot, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. The harlot fleeth, because he is a harlot, and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and now my sheep and am known of mine.
So we can recognize the voice of our chief, our high priest. We can recognize his sound. We know when we're at safety and at rest because we are on his vibration. We have the mind of Yahushua. Come on.
As the Father knoweth me, even so now I, the Father, know I, the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep, and other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
At that time, the northern kingdom, around 722 BC, had already come over to the Americas and were dispersed. Other sheep I have that are not of this fold. So this fold, the southern fold, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, were still intact. When we study, we can't be lazy. We got to study the history to help understand the mystery. Read that again, Bobby Kasha.
Once more, John 10 and 16. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore do my Father love me, because I laid down my life that I might take it again.
What is that one shepherd and one fold? Under Yahushua, the tabernacle of David, and King David will be set up under Yahushua. So one nation, northern and southern kingdom of the house of Israel. Come on.
No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
Beautiful.
There was a division therefore again among the Jews for these sayings. And many of them said, he have a devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Others said, these are not the words of him that have a devil. Can a devil open the eyes of the blind? And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. It was winter. And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Hamashiach, tell us plainly.
See, there was a division among them. So this doctrine divides and it sifts. It creates segregation because the Lord wants the cream of the crop. Those that are endowed with the gift of wisdom. He don't want stragglers or scumbags like those wicked jakes yelling at the man's wife on the street. And then he comes up there and threatens to kill them for reading books. Niggas. This is only for the elect.
That's right.
That's it. Come on. Yeah, 25.
Verse 25. Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not.
Con.
The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you.
Beautiful.
My sheep hear my voice,
Con.
and I know them, and they follow me.
Beautiful. So a remnant is coming to repentance. Let's get that in Job. I think it's Job 2 at the end. You see? So you got to understand, Yahushua is following the will of the Heavenly Father, that a remnant shall return. So he is in line or on the same page of music with the Most High. He's not going to go against the Most High. A remnant shall return. It's in the Joel, not Job, I'm sorry. I said Joel. That a remnant shall return. And whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. So Yahushua is bound by the divine will of the Most High. He did not put himself above the Most High. I'm going to come right back to where you left off.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall be delivered.
Beautiful.
For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahweh hath said, and in the remnant whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall call.
And in the remnant. See? So Yahushua is under divine order. A remnant shall return and call on the name.
Once more, John chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
Con.
And I give unto them eternal life,
Yep.
and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
So the devil is going to try to pluck the Lord's elect out of his hand by mandating this chip and locking every damn body down. Everybody just stay at home. We coming. But they think they're going to go ahead and digitize the Lord's flock. Not so, devil. Not so. So when you try that, the Lord is going to lift up a standard and flame broil this beast. Come on.
Verse 29.
Let's read that again about pluck out of his hand.
John chapter 10 once more. Verse 29. Shalaki. Verse 28. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
God.
My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand.
See? So there is a said measure that is going to return unto this covenant, to the word. You cannot do anything to throw off the Most High's count that's being sealed in the last days. Oh, seal up thy number Oh, Zion. What man is going to say, no, Most High, you're off by 1 or 2? Are you crazy? No. So the Most High has a said number, preset. It's like when you buy a vehicle, it's preset or programmed to certain channels because you told him to program it that way. The Most High is dealing with a said measure of Zion, elect, that has been sealed before the foundation of the world. And go ahead and close it there. I'm having some weird body pain. Okay, if you're not out here laboring on these streets, then you're haphazard. You're haphazardly. The men supposed to be laboring. Come on. This is putting in work. Yeah, they get to work early. Boss tell them to get there at 10. I got here at 8:30 today, boss. That way you didn't have to worry about it. The Lord's got to kill 2/3 of you men. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Yeah, this heat is treacherous. So we're trying to drink from the cup of the Lord's affliction, his pain, his suffering, his burden, and carrying our own cross by diligently putting our best foot forward in truth and sincerity, not half-assing this truth that's coming from the King of the universe, the King of kings and Lord of lords. We're going to face the east. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor and respect to the elders, to the apostles of Great Millstone. Much love, honor, and respect to the beloved brothers of the hopeful elect, helping to edify the body and feed the lambs of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. To the beloved ladies of the hopeful elect, listening and learning in meekness and humility, as the scriptures have commanded to do so. To you we say, Barakatham and Shalom. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
And the Babal.
Babal.
We got next, Lord willing. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yep, Shabbat Shalom.
The devil always got tagged. Try to overheat your phone like that, and then all of a sudden, this man crap.
Talking about your phone is overheating. I put my phone on ice, and it's still overheating. This man is the devil. What crimes? What crimes? Unbelievable. And Eve fall for it too. When that Mickey Mouse voice comes out, Eve gets docile and submissive.
They all ain't bad.
Yeah, my mother-in-law be like, leave him alone. Why you keep talking about that man every time you come over here? Bugged out. Big mama. Shalom. Yeah, I get that all the time.
Leave that white man alone.
Leave him alone.